Good morning. My are back. Here's, who am I kidding? It's the middle of the afternoon. I forgot to do an intro. So here's the plan, blah, blah, blah. It's probably going to change, blah, blah, blah. What could possibly go wrong? This morning, like most mornings, there's little pockets of activity all over the place. First one, here on the north side, just about to, I think, remove the forms from these very small concrete columns at the bottom, and then continue with the work of getting this roof structure a bit closer to being ready for an actual roof. And meanwhile, a little bit up higher, guess what? More skim coating. Like every morning for the last few days, more tile cutting has already been going on just here. So the tiles are going to be in this area below the kitchen window. Another not very brave prediction. I think they'll finish that today. That would mean all of the tiles along the front of the house are done, except for any grout that's going to follow. Will we get glass along the top of this beam today? I'll have to wait and see. Didn't do it yesterday, although I thought they would. In fact, I was told they would. Will they do it today? Be patient, my friends. Once again, skim coat here on the skirting boards in Sabrina's bedroom. Our multitasking engineer hard at work in his office, otherwise known as the master bedroom. Lots of calculations today. It's payday. On the master balcony, Richard is getting ready to attach these decorative panels just around the door. I think it'll probably stretch across to where the window starts, but we'll have to wait and see, just to be certain. There was a question, and my apologies, I can't remember who it was, but I'll stick the name up, about how were these skirting boards attached to the wall? Well, they've used something called no nails glue, and then they've used small nails. So I just asked the engineer, are we going to have glass in here today? He said, maybe. I guess it partly depends on whether the glass team are available to come back. So we don't know right now. Elson is working on grouting the wall on Jack's balcony. And on all of these kind of highlight walls or the decorative tiles on any of the walls, all the way around, we've used a grey grout, which to my eyes looks very good. It doesn't stand out too much, but it gives a little tiny bit of definition to the tiles. After again checking with the engineer, all the tiles in all the bathrooms, both floor and wall, are grouted, except Sabrina's room. And that's because they're waiting on a decision on the colour of the grout to be used here. So that decision will come today. Herwin is applying the light grey paint here above the stairs. And these coats that are going on now, they are the final coat. Nothing more to come after this one. There was a question, and again, I apologise, I can't remember who it's from, but I'll put the name up. Was there going to be a window in this outside bathroom? Yes. It's just a little after lunch. Resty here seems to have been painting and sanding and skim coating and painting and an ongoing roundabout for days. I think this is part of what it means to have an elegant finish when you define with your build contract. One of the levels, the top level, is elegant. At least that's the term that was used here. And this attention to detail to get these walls as good as they can get them, that's part of what being elegant is all about in your contract. In the dirty kitchen, something new. Our turquoise blue exhaust fan for the oven. Don't worry, it doesn't stay that colour. It's just a protective coating. But it's installed. On the north side of the house, we're starting to get something that appears as though it could be a roof structure. All the metal is getting put into place, welded in. There's still clearly masses more to do. But something that is not just columns. It's a bit more than that now. At the front, tiling continues. That's got to be 2/3 done. Probably they'll finish it today. And there's still work on where the painted surface is. Smoothing out, skim coating, painting, smoothing out, sanding, skim coating. You know the routine by now. In this double height area at the entrance hall, still no glass. The engineers just told me next week. I guess the glass crew were not available to come back in today. Once again, they're building platforms to try and stop me. Actually, they're building platforms so they can come back and adjust this chandelier. But it will mean, again, makes it harder to get up and down the stairs. Just for a while. On the balcony of the master bedroom, we've got those PVC panels in place. The ones on the right hand side still got the plastic covering on them, and it does extend right up to the window, which is what I thought. We'll have to wait and see when the plastic comes off, but I think it's all going to look very smart. The grout on this wall on the edge of Jack's balcony is done. It appears almost white, but it is a light grey, and I think it really makes these tiles pop. I think that looks really good. A lot of these things now are becoming very minor, but they all, I think, help. So we now have this bottom baseboard that isn't a baseboard painted along the length of this upstairs hallway. Again, sorry to be repetitive, I think it really looks good. It's very nearly 4 o'clock, and being a Saturday, that's when the guys finish. Before we go inside, two things. As Megawegger very often says on his comments, it's that time of day. Oh, and there's the bell. He says, what do you call a cannibal that can't eat meat? A countable. And we have a request for a shout out from Hollywood Eddie. Eddie says he works in the motion picture industry, lives in Los Angeles. And in answer to your question, Eddie, no, I'm sorry. None of the ladies that I've tended to show in these videos are available. They're all married. I apologise. Let's go and see what's been happening in the last couple of hours. On the north side, the structure for the roof is coming together. A couple more bits of trusses are in place. Still a fair bit to do, clearly. Clint asked, would there be a concrete floor down here? Because as he quite rightly says, it'll just get very muddy and mucky. Yes, Clint, there will be a concrete floor underneath this canopy. The tiling underneath the kitchen window did not quite get done. I'm not sure how clearly it comes out, but it is a fairly complicated design they've got here. It's not just the same size tile everywhere. So there is a lot of cutting to size, a lot of placement. It does take quite a while to put something like this together. They'll finish it on Monday. Just a tiny bit more work done on here where the exhaust fan is for the oven. Richard's fabricated a small box to go around the top and hide the flexible part of the tube that carries the exhaust fumes away. That will of course get decorated somehow or other. Now I'm not sure, but I think some adjustment has been done to these lights. Honestly, I want more. I still think we can have more differentiation in the heights of these various dangling tubes that would just make it a little more interesting. We'll talk to the engineer on Monday about that. This is the walk-in closet for the master bedroom. I think it is now the last area upstairs that doesn't have the baseboards, the skirting boards put in place. And I think I must have misunderstood when I spoke to the engineer about grouting, because in the master bathroom, the walls are all done. The floor looks to me like it's not. Maybe they're waiting until we get the toilets to put in here before they do that. I'll check with him on Monday. Nothing else that I can see of any significance to show you. So that's the end of the work day and the end of the work week. I think that was another solid but unspectacular day. I've got a feeling most of the days might be like that now. There might not be any huge, big changes to come. Hopefully you'll stick around and see the smaller changes that are still going on every day. If for nothing else than to come back and take a look here where we'll try and show the occasional sunset. It's going to be a glorious evening again here today. And by the way, message for Hollywood Eddie. In the future, in about 2 months' time-ish, if any of your movie mates want to come and use this as a location for filming, you know where I am. Right guys, if you're watching this at the weekend, enjoy what's left of it. If you're watching it any other time, enjoy your days ahead. See you next week.